Have you ever felt like you are running on a treadmill with your finances? You work hard every single day, and you save a portion of every paycheck. You put that money into your retirement accounts, and you wait for the magic to happen. But when you check your balance at the end of the year, it feels like nothing has changed. The numbers move so slowly that it feels like you're trying to fill a swimming pool with a teaspoon. For many of us, especially as we get closer to retirement, this feeling is more than just frustrating. It is exhausting, and it creates a deep sense of worry about the future. You might start to wonder if the promises of the stock market are actually real. You might wonder if you started too late or if you are simply doing it all wrong. But I want to tell you something very important today. You are not failing, and the math is not broken. You're simply stuck in what I call the invisible phase of wealth building. This is the long and quiet stretch where your effort does all the work and the results remain hidden. But there is a specific milestone where everything flips. There is a point where your money stops being a passive passenger and starts becoming a powerful engine. That milestone is $100,000. Once you cross that line, the rules of the game change forever. In this discussion, we are going to look at why that first $100,000 is so difficult to reach. We will explore the exact moment when your money starts working harder than you do. And most importantly, we will look at how you can protect that momentum once you finally have it. Let us start by looking at why the early years feel so stagnant. Imagine you are planting a massive oak tree in your backyard. For the first few years, you water it every day and you protect it from the wind. But when you look at the surface, you barely see any growth at all. It looks like a tiny stick in the mud. However, beneath the soil, something incredible is happening. The tree is growing a complex and deep system of roots. Without those roots, the tree could never support the weight of the massive branches that will come later. Your investments work in the exact same way. In the beginning, your contributions are the only thing moving the needle. If you have $10,000 invested and the market grows by 7%, you earn $700. To your brain, $700 feels like nothing. It is roughly the same as just one extra deposit you might make from your paycheck. It does not feel like wealth, and it certainly does not feel like freedom. This is where most people give up. They look at that $700 and they decide that the effort is not worth the reward. They stop contributing or they spend the money on a new car or a vacation. But they are quitting right when the roots are almost finished growing. The math of compounding is exponential, not linear. That means it starts out flat, stays flat for a long time, and then suddenly shoots straight up. Your only job in the early stages is to stay on that flat line until it begins to curve. Everything changes when you reach $100,000. Let us look at that same 7% return now. 7% of $100,000 is $7,000. Think about that for a moment. $7,000 is a significant amount of money. For many people, that is more than they contribute to their retirement accounts in an entire year. This is the moment of the great shift. This is when your portfolio starts to behave like a second version of you. It is like you have hired a silent employee who works 24 hours a day without ever taking a break. At this stage, you are no longer the only one pushing the boulder up the hill. The boulder has reached the top, and it is starting to roll down the other side. This is what we call the crossover point. The crossover point is the day when your investment gains are larger than your annual contributions. When you reach this day, you have achieved a level of financial gravity that is hard to break. Even if you never added another dollar to that account, the momentum would likely carry you toward $1 million over time. For a man in his 50s, reaching this point provides a level of peace that no paycheck can match. It is the knowledge that you are no longer alone in this fight. But why does it take so long to get there? The truth is that our modern world is designed to keep you from reaching that first $100,000. We are constantly bombarded with messages telling us to spend our money now. We are told that we need the newest truck or the biggest house to be successful. We see people on social media flaunting a lifestyle that is funded by debt. But the real millionaires are often the people you would never suspect. They are the teachers, the engineers, and the small business owners who lived slightly below their means for decades. They understood that a dollar saved in your 30s or 40s is worth $10 in your 60s. They ignored the junk expenses that provide temporary status but create long-term stress. If you want to reach the tipping point faster, you must simplify your life. Look at your bank statement from the last 90 days. How much of that money went toward things that actually improved your long-term security? How much of it went toward fast food, expensive subscriptions, or branded clothing that you rarely wear? These small leaks in your bucket are the reason the pool is taking so long to fill. By cutting out the noise, you can funnel that energy into your investment engine. You should also look at how you are actually investing that money. Many people overcomplicate their portfolios because they think they need to be clever to win. They chase hot tips or they try to time the market based on the news. But the most successful investors usually have the most boring accounts. They use low-cost index funds that track the entire market. They do not try to beat the market because they know that time is more important than timing. They set up automatic contributions so that they never have to make a choice on payday. Automation is the ultimate tool for the long-term investor. It removes your emotions from the process. When the market goes down, your automatic system buys more shares at a discount. When the market goes up, your balance grows without you having to lift a finger. This consistency is what builds the $100,000 foundation. Once you have that foundation, your job changes from building the engine to protecting it. Protecting your engine means having an emergency fund so you never have to sell your stocks during a crash. It means keeping your costs low so that your withdrawal rate remains sustainable. Most experts recommend the 4% rule for retirement. This means you can safely withdraw 4% of your portfolio every year without running out of money. If you have a $500,000 portfolio, that gives you $20,000 a year. Combined with Social Security, that can create a very comfortable and stable life. But you can only get to that $500,000 mark if you refuse to break the chain early on. The journey to your first $100,000 is a test of your character more than your intelligence. It tests your patience and your ability to delay gratification. It requires you to trust in the invisible roots while everyone else is looking for quick fruit. But I promise you that the view from the other side is worth the struggle. When you see your account grow by $10,000 or $20,000 in a single year, just from interest, everything changes. You stop feeling like a victim of the economy. You start feeling like a master of your own destiny. You no longer fear a job loss or a market dip because you have built a wall of capital around your life. Financial independence is not about being rich. It is about having options. It is about being able to say no to things that do not align with your values. It is about being able to spend time with your grandchildren without worrying about the electric bill. That freedom starts with the first dollar you save today. It grows with every wise choice you make this month, and it becomes real when you finally cross that six-figure line. If you are currently working toward your own crossover point, I want to hear from you. What is the target number that will make you feel truly secure? Write that number down and keep it somewhere you can see it every day. Make it concrete. Make it inevitable. Remember that wealth is not a matter of luck. It is a matter of time and discipline. The math is on your side. The engine is waiting to be started. All you have to do is keep feeding it until it takes off. Thank you for listening to this perspective on wealth and wisdom. Stay consistent and keep moving forward. Your future self will thank you for the work you're doing today.